Hello dear students. So today we are starting with the fourth chapter of our unit 1, that is reproductive health. In this chapter we have to talk about the reproductive health, which means a total well-being in the physical, emotional, behavior and social aspects of reproduction. If a person is capable to perform the reproduction process in all the well-being aspects, these aspects will be physically, emotionally, behaviorally and socially. If the organism is reproducing properly, then they will be called as reproductively healthy. Okay. So first of all, we have to discuss about certain techniques that we are discussing in this chapter, which are also called as ART, that is assisted reproductive techniques. First of all, amniocentesis. Now amniocentesis is a method, is a prenatal diagnostic technique in which the sample of amniotic fluid from the womb of the pregnant woman is taken during the early stages of fetus development. These cells from the amniotic fluid, they are cultured and analyzed to check any genetic disorder or any abnormality in the developing fetus. This diagnostic technique is called amniocentesis. By this method, we can check the chromosomal abnormalities, the sex of the fetus, and the developmental disorders. And amniocentesis is only allowed legally if it is done with the intention, with the wrong intention, or if it is misused for killing the normal female fetus or female feticide, then it is considered as a crime. So amniocentesis is a diagnostic technique. Now there are sterilization methods. In sterilization method, we have to talk about the contraception methods which are followed by male or female to control birth. Of the sterilization method, they are the permanent methods for birth control done by used by males and females. In this chapter, we will talk about different sterilization method, different birth control methods. Like we will talk about IUCD. It is the method followed by female where the uterus of the female is contraceptively it is changed, or there are some devices which are used to prevent fertilization. Okay, there RCH programs we will talk about, which are the reproductive and child health care programs. We will also talk about the sexually transmitted diseases. We will also talk about CDRI, that is the Central Drug Research Institute in Lucknow, where the first contraceptive pill, that is Saheli, was synthesized. We have to talk about MTP also, that is the medical termination of pregnancy, which is only considered in legal aspect. We will talk about venereal diseases with sexual reproductive diseases also, and different techniques which will be assisting in reproduction method. So this is all we are going to talk about in detail. Now first of all, the World Health Organization, they have given the definition of reproductive health. As we have discussed, that reproductive health is the total well-being in all aspects of reproduction. Total well-being include the physical, emotional, behavioral and social aspect. Now when we talk about reproductive health, the reproductive health is the reproductively healthy society is the society where the people they are having physically and functionally normal reproductive organs, and they have normal emotional and behavioral interaction among themselves in sex related aspects. India is the first country to initiate actions, plans, programs at national level to attain the total reproductive health. And these all programs, they were initiated from 1957. They are considered as the family planning programs. Later on, these programs, they were improved and they include more reproductive related areas, and now we call them as reproductive and child health care programs, RCH. Okay. The major task of these programs, the RCH is working mainly for creating awareness among the people about the reproduction related aspects, providing facilities and support to build a reproductively healthy society. This in this program, governmental and non-governmental agencies, they have taken up various steps to create awareness among the people with the help of audio visuals and print media. Also, introduction of sex education in schools is encouraged to give right information and to avoid myths and misconception about sex related aspects. This is also under RCH programs. Also, the information was provided about the reproductive organs, adolescence, safety and hygienic sexual practices, sexually transmitted diseases. This all information is provided to the public so that they can lead to a reproductively healthy life. Now, educating the pupil, especially the fertile couple, is the important aspect of these RCH program, where people were made aware about the marriageable age group, about also they make the people aware about different available birth control options, how to take care of pregnant women, what are the postnatal care of mother and child, what is the importance of breastfeeding, and what is the importance of equal opportunity for the male and the female child. Under RCH program, people, they are also made aware about the problems due to uncontrolled population growth. See, we are working at national level because of uncontrolled birth rate. The population explosion is a problem for our country. So we are emphasis on population control also, and we are also trying to kill some social evils like sex abuse, sex related crimes. We are also trying to reduce them with the help of RCH program. Okay. uh, Amniocentesis that we have discussed. Amniocentesis is a method, prenatal diagnostic method, which is actually to check the abnormalities in the developing fetus. But now this amniocentesis is statutory banned by the government and is only allowed under legal cases, so that we can prevent the female feticide. So that's all about reproductive health, what we are going to talk about, what we are covering in the reproductive health programs, right? Now, population explosion and birth control. See, RCH programs, they are helping in controlling population explosion. The increased health facilities and the improvement in the technology in our country, in the developing countries, they have provided an explosive impact on the growth of population. Now, the world population, which was about 2 billion in 1900 AD, now has reached to 6 billions in the 2000 AD. Okay, the same trend is observed. Same trend is observed in India also. Our population at the time of independence was only about 350 millions. Now it has reached more than 2 billions. So we are facing with different problems due to population explosion. Now there are some probable reason due to population explosion, that there are some probable reason for population explosion, that what is happening. Now there is decline in death rate because of better medical facilities. Now decline in maternal mortality rate, MMR. Now the mothers, they are provided with good health facilities, so maternal mortality rate is also declined. Now and infant mortality rate, IMR, is also declined. And now there is increase in number of people in the reproductive age, especially in India. The youth generation is making the 70% of the population, so there is increase in number of the population in reproductive age. So according to that, we are suffering from the problem of uh, population explosion. That's why what we are doing now, we are trying to take some important steps to control population growth and to motivate smaller families by using contraceptive methods, right? And we are also taking some steps which include that we have raised the marriageable age, that is now 18 for females and 21 for males. And also we have providing incentives to the couples with the small families. Okay, now for we are also supporting some contraceptive programs to the couples. And what are the properties, what are the ideal features of a contraceptive method? Should be the contraceptive method, it should be user friendly, they should be easily available, they should be effective, they should be reversible, or there should be there should be very lesser side effects, and they should be non-interfering with the sexual desire or sexual act of the user. So these should be the ideal qualities of any contraceptive methods. And to control the population explosion, now our government is working on the slogan "हम दो हमारे दो." Okay. Now we have to talk about the different methods of birth control. Now, these birth control methods, they are grouped into following categories. Like we have to talk about natural methods. When we talk about natural method of birth control, these methods work on the principle of avoiding chances of meeting between gametes, or we can say these methods avoid fertilization. Natural methods can be followed by three ways. First way is periodic abstinence. In this method, the couples avoid or abstain from coitus from day 10 to day 17th of the menstrual cycle. As you remember that 10th till 17th is the ovulation time. So at that time coitus should be avoided, right, during ovulation time. So this will reduce the chances of fertilization. This is called periodic abstinence, or it is also called as calendar method. The second natural method of birth control is called coitus interruption or withdrawal method. In this method, the penis is withdrawn from the vagina from just before ejaculation, and insemination is avoided. If there will be no insemination, then there will be no chance of fertilization. The third natural method of birth control is lactational amenorrhea. This lactational amenorrhea refers to the absence of menstruation during the period of intense lactation. Right? When the female is doing intense lactation, at that time menstrual cycle is not working. So that time is also safe for coitus, because at that time, during this lactation time, ovulation does not occur and chances of conception are almost nil. But this is not very effective method. Okay. Now these are the three types of natural method. The another type of birth control method is called barrier method, where the ovum and sperm are prevented from coming closer. with the help of barriers. Such barriers, they are available for male and females both. Now, if we talk about condoms, condoms are the barrier which are made up of thin rubber or latex sheath. They are used to cover the penis in male or to cover vagina and cervix in females. Condoms are available for male and female both. These condoms also provide protection against sexually transmitted diseases. Okay. Another barrier method are diaphragms. Diaphragms, cervical caps, vaults. These are also barrier methods which are made up of rubber and are used by females. And these barrier methods, they are reusable. There are some barrier methods which are used by males also, like there are some spermicidal creams which will also used as a barrier to increase the contraceptive efficiency. So these are the barrier methods. Okay, what are the barrier methods? Where we are using either the condoms for male and female, or diaphragm, cervical cap, vaults in female, and spermicidal creams in case for males. So these are the barrier method. Then the another birth control method is called the intrauterine device. Intrauterine device, they are introduced into the uterus. Now these intrauterine devices, IUDs, they are of following types. The IUDs, they may be non-medicated, which example of non-medicated IUD is lips loop. Now IUDs may be copper releasing. Copper releasing because copper, it reduces the motility of sperm. And copper releasing IUDs example is copper T, copper 7, multi-load 375. They all are copper releasing IUDs. There are some hormone releasing IUDs also. Example Progestar set and LNG20. Now these IUDs method, how they are working? See, they are working, or they are preventing fertilization. They are preventing chances of fertilization by increasing phagocytosis of sperm within the uterus. Second, either by suppressing the sperm mobility, and thereby the fertilizing ability is reduced. That is mainly done by copper ion releasing IUDs. By making the uterus unsuitable for implantation. If the implantation of zygote will not occur, then pregnancy will be terminated. Or it is making the cervix hostile to the sperm. Means as the sperm enter into the cervix, it is degenerated. So these are the working methods, mode of working for the different IUDs. We have discussed about 3 types of IUDs: non-medicated IUDs, copper releasing IUDs and hormone releasing IUDs. Beside this, the another method of birth control are called oral contraceptives. These oral contraceptives are actually the hormonal preparation in the form of pills. They are either progestogens or progestogen-estrogen combination. These hormones, the combination or the progestogen hormone is there in the pills. Now these pills, they alter ovulation and implantation and also modify the quality of cervix so that they can prevent the entry of sperm. The first oral contraceptive that was synthesized in India was Saheli. This contraceptive contained a non-steroidal principle called centrochromine. It is once a week pill, means the female, they have to take it once in a week. Okay, they are based on non-steroidal principle centrochromine. Oral contraceptive pills, they have to be taken daily for a period of 21 days starting within the first 5 days of menstrual cycle, and they induces some changes in the cervix region, or they cause abnormality, changes in the implantation or and ovulation time period. Okay, this is how oral contraceptives are working. Beside these, there are injections and implants also, like progestogens, and the combination of progestogen and estrogen is also uh, used as injection or implants under the skin. Though their mode of action is similar as contraceptive, but that is more effective method. If we are injecting them or if we are implanting them directly in the female body, they will be more effective. In last, we have to talk about the surgical method. In surgical method, there are two methods. One is called tubectomy, that is followed in female, and another vasectomy, that is followed in male. In what happen in this, the in surgical method, it is terminal method to prevent pregnancy. See, surgical method, they block the transport of gametes and thereby the conception also. The vasectomy is the sterilization process in males where a small portion of vas deferens is removed or tied up through an incision in the scrotum. And tubectomy is the sterilization procedure in females where a small part of fallopian tube is removed and tied up through a small incision in the abdomen or through vagina. So these are the different methods of birth control. So this is the slide which is showing you the different methods of birth control. Here you can see the barrier method, the condoms, male condom and the female condom. There are oral contraceptive method in form of pills. There are hormonal rings also. Again, they have the combination of progestogen, estrogen, hormones. IUDs are there, copper T type, or there are injections and implantation. Surgical vasectomy and tubectomy methods can be used. There are implants also which have the combination of hormones. Again, coitus interrupts that I have told you, the withdrawal method, calendar rhythm method, that is also called as periodic abstinence. The vaginal dose, that is again a form of vault, contraceptive patches and diaphragm, vaults, caps, they all are the contraceptive methods which are helping in birth control. Now, we have to talk about in vitro fertilization also. As the name is indicating, in vitro fertilization is a very helpful technique for those couples which are suffering from the problem of infertility. If the male and female, they are not the couple is not able to produce the children, they go for IVF. What happen in IVF? First of all, in the female body, inject through the hormone therapy, the ovaries are stimulated. When these ovaries are stimulated, the ovulation process takes place and eggs are released. Now these eggs are picked up with the vacuum method. These eggs are picked up in the test tubes, and similarly in males also, from males also the sperms are collected. Now these eggs and sperm, they are fertilized in the laboratory condition and they are allowed to grow till the modular stage in the laboratory conditions only. And then when the modular stage or blastocyst stage is obtained, at that time that embryo is transferred into the uterus of the female. This is how the in vitro fertilization method works. This picture is showing you again the IUD method. It is showing you how eggs are taken, how they are placed. Here we are doing the fertilization outside. Okay, this is zygote intrafallopian transfer, where the ovum is collected from the female body. Already we have collected the semen from the male. Now these ovum, they are allowed to fertilize with the sperm in the Petri plates in the laboratory conditions only. Then fertilized embryo, they are transferred to the fallopian tube. This is called as ZIFT, zygote intrafallopian transfer. Okay. So this table is showing you again the intra-IUDs methods and the oral contraceptive methods that I have explained you earlier also. This is giving you the theoretical explanation of that. You can take the screenshot of this and you can prepare your notes properly. This is explaining you the surgical method that I have told you. The surgical method of sterilization is vasectomy in males and tubectomy in females. Okay, these are the permanent methods, and but in this there is only one problem, that these methods, they also show some side effects, like sometimes the person who is going through these type of surgical methods, they will suffer from nausea or breakthrough of bleeding, abdominal pain, and there are some side effects, but not so these side effects are not so common, they are only situational. Okay, now there is an emergency contraceptive methods also, which are used under legal conditions. This is only used in case of pregnancy which are due to either rape or by casual unprotected intercourse, and these methods should be used within 72 hours of coitus. 72 hours means within 3 days of the coitus. Now in this, what is the female is provided with a combination of injections or implants which contain the hormonal combination of progestogen and estrogen, or the female is provided with the intrauterine devices. Now this picture is showing you the method of vasectomy and tubectomy. Vasectomy is showing you that how incision is made in the vasa deferens so that the sperm will not be allowed to transfer to the ejaculatory duct. And in tubectomy, you can see the fallopian ducts, they are cut, their incision is made and then they are tied at that region where they are connected with the uterus, so that if the sperm will enter, then also it will not able to reach to the egg. So these are the surgical methods for the birth control. Now this picture is showing you that how intrauterine devices are placed. This is showing you the hormonal IUD and the copper T. This is always inserted in the female body through the vagina region till the uterus region. In that region, the copper T IUDs, they will reduce the motility of the sperm, and sperm will not be able to reach to the ovum, so that the fertilization will not occur, and the hormonal IUD will alter the ovulation and the implantation method, so that the fertilization will not occur. Now we have to talk about medical termination of pregnancy. See, medical termination of pregnancy is legalized now by the government of India in 1971, but this is legalized only with the strict condition, so that we can avoid its misuse, especially in case of indiscrimination and illegal female feticide. Okay, so MTP is legalized by government in 1971, so that we can prevent female feticide. In MTP is essential where pregnancy can be harmful for the mother or the fetus. Okay, at that case we can do MTP. And MTP, medical termination of pregnancy, is only safe during the first trimester, as we have discussed in the last chapter. Up to the 12th week of pregnancy it is safe, whereas MTP during the second trimester is very riskier because it can cause heavy blood loss. Okay, now MTP is done only in few cases, when there is failure of contraceptive methods, when the victim is raped, or there is continuation of pregnancy and it can lead to the fatal condition or death of the female or the fetus. At that time only MTP can be done. Okay, so this is again mentioning you how when MTP is legalized. The next topic that we have to discuss are STD, sexually transmitted diseases. In STDs, we have to discuss about certain diseases like syphilis. If we talk about syphilis, you can note down with the pen in your notes, because I am mentioning the causal organism now. Please pen down them. Syphilis is the sexually transmitted disease that is caused by Treponema pallidum. Gonorrhea is a STD caused by Neisseria gonorrhea. Chlamydiasis is a STD caused by Chlamydia trachomatis. Trichomoniasis is caused by Trichomonas vaginalis. AIDS is caused by HIV, human immunodeficiency virus. Hepatitis B is caused by hepatitis virus, and genital herpes is caused by the herpes simplex virus or human papilloma virus. Now, out of them, there are three viral infections: AIDS, genital herpes, and hepatitis B, that cannot be cured, whereas other STDs which are caused by the bacteria like syphilis, gonorrhea, chlamydiasis, they are curable. And the trichomoniasis, which is caused by protozoa trichomonas, it is also curable. But these viral STDs, AIDS, hepatitis B and herpes, they are incurable. If we talk about the symptoms of STPs, see, if we talk about the symptoms of STPs, they will include the itching, fluid discharge, slight pain and swelling in the genital region. See, what happens in case of STDs, the infected person do not seek for medical help, either due to the absence of or less significant symptoms in the early age of infection, or there is a social stigma attached with STD. There is a taboo that if the person is suffering from STD, it is something wrong with the person. But these diseases, they should be reported immediately to the doctors, because they are very high among the individual with the age group of 15 to 24 years. Okay, these infections, sexually transmitted diseases, they can be prevented by avoiding sex with the unknown partners or multiple partners, by using condoms during coitus every time, and by seeking medical help in case of any doubt and getting it completely cured. Okay, so these are the different diseases. As I have mentioned here in the slide also, there are different diseases which are caused by different pathogens. Again, I am revising. The gonorrhea is caused by the bacteria Neisseria gonorrhea. Chlamydia is caused by the bacteria Chlamydia trachomatis. Syphilis is again caused by a bacteria Treponema pallidum. Gonorrhea, chlamydia, syphilis, they are the bacterial infection. Trichomonas is caused by protozoan, and HIV, hepatitis, herpes, they are caused by viruses. And in this picture only, we have shown you the general symptoms also, what happened during STDs, sexually transmitted diseases. Now we have to talk about infertility and its reason. See, infertility is the situation when the couple is not able to produce the offsprings. Now, the reasons of infertility could be physical, it can be congenital disease, or using certain drugs, or some immunological reactions. Okay. Now, the specialized healthcare units called infertility clinics, they could diagnose the problem and they can give corrective treatment for curing these problems. Okay, where corrective treatments are not available, there are special techniques which are called assisted reproductive technologies, ART, assisted reproductive technologies are helping the couples to produce children. Now, in assisted reproductive technologies, there are test tube baby program, or we call it in vitro fertilization. In this method, the ova from the wife or a donor female and the sperm from the husband or a donor, they are allowed to fuse in the simulated condition in the laboratory, and this method is also called as IVF. When the zygote is developed, the zygote is transferred in the uterus or the fallopian tube for further development. This method, this process, this step is called embryo transfer. Now, this embryo transfer can be done when the zygote is up to 8 blastomeres. This is called ZIFT, zygote intrafallopian transfer, when the embryo is up to 8 blastomere stage. But if the embryo is more than 8 blastomere and if it is then transferred to the uterus, then we call it intrauterine transfer, IUT. Okay. The other methods of intrauterine transfer where the embryo is more than 8 blastomeres are GIFT, the gamete intrafallopian transfer. In this method, the transfer of an ovum are collected from a donor female into another female. See what is happening, the mother who is providing the ovum is not able to carry the fetus, so the ovum is transferred into another female who cannot produce ova but can provide the suitable condition for fertilization. So here the further fetus development till maturation occur in the mother only the ova is taken from some other female. In case of intracytoplasmic sperm injection, in this method the sperm is directly injected into the ovum to form an embryo in the laboratory, and then that embryo is transferred to the uterus of the female. Now there are artificial insemination methods also. In this method, the semen is collected from the husband or the healthy donor and they are artificially introduced into the vagina or the uterus. Intrauterine insemination is done. Now this method is used in case where the infertility is due to the inability of the male partner, either the female semen is having low sperm count or there is some erection problem. So in these cases, artificial insemination is done. So here you can see the intracytoplasmic sperm injection. First of all, the ovaries, they are stimulated, hormones are provided. Now the oocytes are collected and the sperms are collected from the donor. These both, they are allowed to fuse. They are allowed to fuse in the laboratory condition. Embryo is formed till the 8 cell stage and then that embryo is transferred into the female uterus. Okay. Again, this is the theoretical explanation of the methods that we have discussed right now. So you can take the screenshot and you can make your notes. That's all for today. This is how we complete our chapter, reproductive health. Thank you all. Bye.